Yeah. First, you have to make sure. First, you have to make sure you have the board complete, rounded edges. Then you need to make sure you have your grip tape. You can get grip tape from Mr. Gilly or bring your own. Grip tape's $5. You have to have two tools. You need a screwdriver and an X-Acto knife for cutting the grip tape. Then you have to measure the grip tape the length of the board that you made or purchased. After you measure that, you want to cut it from the opposite side. So, because if you do it on the other side, you'll ruin the X-Acto knife. Alright, so make sure the grip tape's the same length still. Then you have to get to the corner and peel the protectant sheet off. And then you gotta keep this for later. Next, you just got to make sure that it's not crooked on the board like this, or else you'll have parts of the board that aren't gripped. Make sure it's the right length. And then start from one end and start patting lightly down on the grip tape. If you don't do this, then you'll have big air bubbles and not very fun. You don't want to pat too hard, or else if you do have an air bubble, you can't pull back and get rid of it. And yeah. Alright, after you have your grip tape down, you want to just look around at it, make sure there's no air bubbles where the board is. And if there is an air bubble, you'll just take the X-Acto knife and poke a hole where it is and then just flatten it down with your fingers. But mine doesn't have any air bubbles right now, so. Okay, so next you get the sheet that you saved from last and you place it on top of the grip tape. And you just take your fist and rub the grip tape down, so it has a better stick to the board and it doesn't start peeling when you're out skating. You gotta make sure you have it right on the edges and on the front of the board and on the tail of the board, because that's where it's most likely to peel. You gotta just make sure that's all good. So. Now once you're done with that, you got to take your screwdriver and start rubbing away at the board so you can cut it. doing this, you gotta really make sure you have it down in the creases of the board, because if you don't have it there, then you'll have the grip tape sticking out when you're skating if you don't cut it right. And you also need to make sure that it's right on the nose and the tail. You want to get it really good. If you can't get in like that, then you can just cut a hole and it'll be easier to get in those creases. And then you also want to make sure the sides are really good, because it's better to go down at a constant speed than go like this, which I'm not very good at, but it'll help. Okay, so next you can just, on all the corners, down where the creases are, you can just put a little slit so all the grip tape's not hanging all around when you're cutting. And then to get the grip tape off, you're going to start on one end of the board. You're going to put the X-Acto knife up through where you were rubbing, and then just you also want to make sure you have a good tool, or else cutting's not going to be very easy. See, things like that happen right there when you don't rub it down enough. So you really got to make sure that you get it down. You can't just have a light little cut or rub there. See, now that I get to here, I can just take this piece off so it's not in my way. You want to make sure you keep rotating the board, or else the cutting will be harder for you.
Hay some more homework. Like,
and then once you get your first end piece like this, you just want to save it real quick and just put it to the side, and I'll show you why you do that at the end. And then you continue just and then you don't, when you're cutting, if there's any little parts, that doesn't really matter, but if there's kind of a chunk kind of like this, where you screw up a little bit and it's hanging off the side, you want to try to just kind of cut those off, because if you keep those when you're riding, if you're trying flip tricks and stuff and it keeps rubbing on the ground, it'll start peeling up, and then all the air will get under your board and you'll have this big bubble and you'll have to re-grip it. So alright, like this one right here, you can just get up, just kind of saw away at it. It's a little bit harder without a big piece. And then after you're done with that, you're going to come back and get your handle's missing the bottom. Gonna get your screwdriver. Again, just kind of want to rub away those little parts so those don't get annoying when you're riding. Alright, then once you're done with that, you gotta maybe just one more time grab this and actually I'm not going to do that because there's dirt on it. When you get dirt on the board, bad for whatever use. So now you grab this piece that you saved earlier and you maybe put it about an inch in. And then you really want to get it mostly on the nose and the tail. This just keeps it from getting air in this part of the board right here, since you can tell there's a crease. And if you get air in there, then it'll fill up with dirt and stuff, rocks, and again, you'll just have to re-grip your board. So now you take all your stuff, put it in the garbage. And then you're gonna have to have holes in it so you can put your trucks on and wheels and go skate. So you don't want to push up from this way, because that'll open it up, and then air will get in this around here where your trucks are. So what you do is maybe just do a light tap and watch where it is. I can see it's going right here. So then I'll just put it down and go from up here, and then just gotta search around. You can do that for all of them if you want. And then after you do that, you got to do it to the other side, unless you're just gonna stay with one truck. So it's also easier to just maybe put your finger on the hole that you're looking for, like here, and then just try to get to your finger with the screwdriver. Alright, so then once that's done, you can return your tools to the workshop, or if they're your tools at home, just put them away and you have a nice grip board. And then Mr. Gilly also sells trucks and wheels and bearings and hardware. I don't know how much, you'll have to ask him, but that's how you grip a board.